Oh, I was gonna say, Russia actually also had slavery. Did you know that? They enslaved their own people too, and they killed millions of their own, but no one ever, talks about that. It was the same thing, but again, that happened like 100 years ago. Slavery in the United States happened like 300 years ago. That was their life. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't have to do that. I didn't use that to come in here and say, oh, I have a tough life too. It's a man's world out here. I just should give up,
No, I don't know. I don't know what you mean. See, my situation is nothing like yours. I don't know what you're talking about. You were able to come over here, like you said, as an immigrant and access white privilege that was put into place for you to access. Meanwhile, like I said, my father was born before the passage of the Civil Rights Act, born without civil rights, drank from segregated drinking fountains. My grandmother was born a sharecropper and escaped out of that situation. And the ending of slavery is not suddenly a glorious moment for African Americans like you're trying to paint it to be. It ended 100 years ago. No, we still deal with the issues today. So I don't know what you're talking about. I dealt with racism in my own life. I walk down Los Feliz, I get arrested for the color of my skin, stopped, detained, questioned, profiled, even held in jail without being convicted of a crime. I have no clue what you're talking about. Okay. You speaking on Africans and African Americans and our experience and trying to compare it to Russians, I have no idea what you're talking about.
My God, Charlie. All right, well, here we go again with another person trying to compare chattel slavery here in America to something else outside of America to, of course, diminish the impact of what we are arguing about and having the conversation about the owed debt of reparations. So, here's a woman who the clip literally identifies her as a millionaire. For some reason, she's concerned about black Americans getting reparations. So here she is comparing another slavery to said slavery. Of course, she gets demolished by this brother who comes right after that. But this is another one of those Jubilee forums. And this is a quick TikTok clip from it. But I wanted to chime in on what she said. What she's referring to, that Russian serfdom. Just a brief, quick look up of it. It says it was a system that legally bound peasants to the land and to their landlords, creating a rigid social structure in which serfs were dependent on their owners for protection and land access. Serfs were forced to provide labor or pay dues to their landlords, and in return, they received limited rights and could not leave their estates without permission, formalized by the Ulohurny, I'm probably mispronouncing that, of 1649. This system was a form of semi-slavery that eventually was abolished in 1861. So when you get these people coming out here trying to run this game like this is comparable to American chattel slavery, no, it still is not. And you still had yourself, your identity, your history, your past. All you were was tied to these people. That in no way is tied to having your identity stripped. You are not allowed to read or educate your own. Your families are separated and split. You're born into slavery in perpetual generations. No, there's nothing even remotely close. And that right there, that part of perpetual generations of slavery, that is evidence, to say that, oh, well, slavery is over with. The generations, if you had generations of slaveries, then the generations after those people have been freed need that reparations as well. And that's just the simple basic math of it. Everybody wants to argue why reparations is due and owed. It's already a clear fact that it's an owed debt. But we're seeing all of these things right now that everybody wants to get involved in the reparations conversation. And the real reason they want to be involved in the reparations conversation is to stop it. It is lineage-based reparations. They have a problem with that because they can't put their infiltrator tethers in the midst of that conversation, and they have no stake in it. So what you are seeing is a lot of foreign money going into directing what we do. However, this is the grassroots, and we owe nobody anything at all. So, saying all that to say, there is no comparison to our chattel slavery. Although your talking heads and the people that you guys subscribe to, even to like the Charlie Kirks or even the Nick Fuenteses and whoever else out there that speaks against reparations, which is an owed debt. There's so many levels to that particular conversation, and no one deals with the grassroots while having it. You speak to a lot of people who, number one, are not even part of the lineage do reparations, and they're always speaking on it. And that's a large problem, and that's a disrespectful go at it, and it's dishonest, and it is in bad faith. So, saying all that to say, until you deal with the grassroots, you're not really having a legitimate conversation about reparations at this point. Everything else is fluff, and hopefully people can get that through their skulls, that this is not a conversation that's going away, and obviously the powers that be are very clear on that. So we see all of the other distractions that will be out there. Let these people mourn their fallen, and, you know, we can still continue on. What about them reparations? Because it wasn't anything about anything Black America does that is responsible for what happened to Charlie Kirk. That is a societal thing in their dominant society. That, again, excludes us because we are not part of the dominant society. So, therefore, we have no parts in what happened to Charlie Kirk. With that being said, let me know what you guys think about this particular topic. The false comparisons that everybody likes to do to slavery. It doesn't make any sense. But, nonetheless, they're going to keep trying. So, saying all that to say that when you guys think that you are going to deal with anything having to concern with us, understand we are fully aware of why they hate us.
It's a cultural divide. I'm gonna get it on the floor. You really about to do it? 40 acres in the mule. This is bigger than the music.
Hashtag hands off our reparations.
You have no rights here. We're not under the empire.
Family, thank you once again for tuning in. Please hit that like button, hit that share button. Make sure to put this out on your social media. And, you know, let folks know that this channel is right here. We do things, of course, in different formats from time to time. So make sure when you subscribe, you hit that notification bell. Hit that word all. That way you'll be notified anytime a video is uploaded, premieres, or we are live. And so until the next time, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at beatzillapdx. And all of the donation information will be in the description. Remember, we are not organized. There's no organization funding New Black Media. This is New Black Media and grassroots funded. So every little bit counts and helps. So peace out and salute, and peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon each and every one of you who support the voices of New Black Media. We appreciate it. I know I can speak for myself, and I'm sure the others would say the same. So stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all.